I sure hope so. Let me know. Let me know if you can see and hear me now because I'm I am out of ideas, if not perfect. That was a fucking nightmare. Alright. Let's see. Alright. Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, give me just a second. I'm trying to make sure everything is. God, it's still fucking choppy. Whatever. As long as y'all can hear me, that's fine for tonight. I'll have to figure out what the fuck is actually going on. That was a series of unfortunate events. Like, why is everything. Okay, whatever. Okay. My comment earlier. So, what I was saying is that. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought. Cursed item. So, instead of doing each use of both abilities adds a stack, only specifically the use of Weird Insight would add a stack to the curse. So then you can keep the number of stacks at 20, right? So high enough where realistically a player shouldn't just go out and spam 20 uses of this, and if they do, they probably should be punished for it. But then at the same time, they're not also being punished for what is effectively like a pretty tame first level spell being available through this item, right? At lower levels, it's decent, but because the DC is flat, it's not going to scale very well, and it has no damage scaling. So we don't want to necessarily punish our players for using that ability in combat. But if they do, in fact, use Weird Insight 20 times, I think that's good enough to justify turning them into a Nothic. But let me know your thoughts. Okay. Let's see if there's. Seems that way. My camera is choppy for whatever reason, but I don't really know. Command option. Let me take a look at one other thing. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else taking up resources. Okay. All right, let's try to pick this back up. And Junior, shut the fuck up, man. It's first of all, it's max level IT, but limited uses. How many uses would you limit Rotting Gaze to? Sorry, I'm trying to copy Angry Meatball's notes real quick, just in case something shits the bed. Guess I don't need the timestamp either. Okay. This is very, very upsetting. Okay, let's see. Uh, 3 to 4. No, I mean it should hopefully be fine now, Angry Meatball. Yeah. I mean, if for some reason the stream goes down again, then definitely put it in the Discord. Because if it goes down again, I'm just gonna call it a night. Because I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with my computer at that point. Let's see. But as of right now, seems like everything is semi-working, and I've got the notes in here. What was I'm looking for? Can be used. Let's say 3 charges. Gains expended. Charges each day at dawn. All right. Okay, I think I'm caught up. I think I'm live. Hopefully, maybe. Y'all tell me what a last stream at the IKEA table. Maybe it's my sign that the IKEA table doesn't wanna go. Turn this thing on because it is now like 30 something degrees. Oh, 45. Oh, it's getting cold. There we go. All right. Can everyone see/hear me at this point? Sorry for all the technical difficulties. Okay, perfect. All right, so now that I've got that copied over and it seems like everything is working, let me actually read it. Make sure. All right, so for the armor, I'm sure this is, yeah. The Supernaturalist Jack of Plates, Coat of Nails, is a magic scale mail, rare, very rare, legendary. The magical armor has been grafted with pieces from various dangerous monsters in order to impart the wearer with an ability the monster had. As an action, you may spend a hit die and roll it, crushing one of the armor's monster parts for use. You lose maximum HP equal to the roll of the dice and resolve the effect of the armor. If required, the DC for an effect is 14 for rare, 15 for very rare, 16 for legendary. If an effect requires concentration, you must maintain concentration. Nkeg's digging prowess. For the next 5 minutes, you have a burrow speed of 10. It's cool. Behir Lightning. You exhale a breath of lightning in a 20-foot long by 5-foot wide line. All creatures in affected area take 6d10 lightning damage on a failed dex save and half on a successful save. Grasp of Roper. Choose a large or smaller creature within 20 feet of you. On a failed strength save, the target is grappled, and until the grapple ends, the target is restrained. As long as the grapple persists, as a bonus action, you may pull the target 10 feet towards you. Maximum HP loss only lasts until long rest is taken. That clause should be in there. Okay. Salamander's Cloak. For 1 minute, a creature that touches you or hits you with a melee attack within 5 feet of you takes 2d6 fire damage. I neglected to write that once an ability is used, it's broken and can't be used again unless you hunt down the same creature and harvest the necessary parts and fashion them. Okay. I like the variety. It's a lot of different good options, mechanically speaking. You lose maximum HP equal to the roll of the die until your next long rest. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a good start, is what I mean to say. There's a lot of quality stuff there. Just a minute. Cradle. Okay. Cradle. Yeah, we can definitely add more um, as the night goes on. If you guys have ideas that you want to throw out for maybe something we can add to this, but this is already pretty well fleshed out and would be pretty much usable. Just kind of off the jump. Hmm. Yeah, I dig it. I like that there's with these options that are provided, like no no two of them is really like cookie cutter the same. Like it's all very different abilities, so it's spaced out well. Okay. All right, let's pick a third item that we can start working on, and then I am actually gonna fill up my water and use the restroom real quick. Try to get back in it. This whole fucking uh, technology thing. It's got me off my game. Give me just a second. I'll be right back, guys. Feel free to look through the options on the screen, pick something out if you like, but I will be back in just a couple minutes. are back. Hopefully with fewer technical issues. Once again, thank you guys for sticking out with me. I know this has not been the most convenient of streams this time around, but hopefully we shouldn't have any other problems for the rest of the night, but we will see. Let's see. Angry Meatball says, I considered another offensive option in a cone, but don't think the initial write-up needed it. No, that's fair. There's no rush. All right. What did you guys want to build out next? Or alternatively, Angry Meatball, if you have a monster type that maybe you want to add to your armor, we could try fleshing that out as well. Okay. Well, it's still a little choppy. Wonder why it's doing that. Oh well. No big deal. The only other immediate thought I had for the armor was an acid or a cold spray. Okay. I mean, let's do it then. Let's see. Try to look up some monsters that maybe would be a good fit. And then we can try to flesh it out. But I don't know what monster we'd pull from those two off the top of my head. What the fuck is this? Let's see. I'm gonna try to look for acid monsters specifically. If either of you want to look for cold monster inspiration. Oh, oof. Hmm. Oh. Oh. So it's up to you, Angry Meatball. Looking at it, at least if you wanted to go with an acid creature, apparently the only one with an acid spray is also an Egg. So you could always make the Ankeg the acid, and then use a different creature for the burrow speed, because obviously there's a lot larger selection of creatures that have burrow speeds if you want to go acid. Otherwise, obviously cold might have some options, but that's, yeah, I'm not turning up a lot. uh, Frost Salamander for cold. I don't know if, I mean, I guess you could do the same thing as just change the salamander to the frost breath and then use a different creature if you wanted for the like fire damage cloak. Yeah, I mean the only other obvious one is a dragon, which it seems like you're trying to steer away from, which I get. Dragons get a lot of screen time already, and they would be typically substantially harder to um, procure. Yeah, take your time. Just let us know. That way I can add it to the doc. Interesting. I can always do poison, but then I'd feel obligated to make it stronger than the other option. Fair enough. I mean, there are a lot of options for creatures that burrow, though. Like you have a pretty wide set of options there. But if you're there, I'll just link the article if you want to take a look at it. Am I able to open a second instance of this? Obviously this one. Okay, I'll leave the list up. Okay. I'm gonna just keep plugging I'll do some math later to tool around with the NK acid spray. Cool. Yeah, I mean we can always make an edit later on if need be. Let's see. I'm just gonna keep trying to plug away at this, guys, so feel free to stop me at any time if you have an item you want to work on or a suggestion. Demilich had popped out at you? Well, then let's do it. Yes, they are. They're placeholder names for the most part, but yes, those, to briefly go back to it, those are the three major uh, factions from like a governmental standpoint. So you have Timore, which is the dictatorship, the Theocratic Republic or the Holy Republic, and then the United Nations. I'm calling it for now. I'm probably going to change that though. United Nations of Southern Reina, which is just like a group of states and cities that kind of band together. Um, Very much, I've described it as like a European Union esque situation. Alright, so let's see. The cantrip Toll of the Dead makes me equate bells to necromancy for some reason, and now I'm thinking of a enormous bell with the ringer being a demi-lich head. That would be that'd be a unique twist. Okay. But what does the demi-lich head, or I'll put alternatively demi-lich bell. What does the thing even do? What does one do with a demi-lich head? Wakes the dead, obviously. Hey, there you go. No idea how or for what duration, though. Yeah, let's look into it. Pull up some spells for reference, and maybe we can think of something. Okay. It's true. It's true. We would be remiss to leave out Toll of the Dead. Maybe that's all it does. Wouldn't that be like just such a tease of an item though? Like you have the fucking demi-lich bell, which is literally a demi-lich's head, the skull inside of a bell, and all it does is give you the Toll of the Dead cantrip. Bro, why is this website down? The Demi-Lich's Howl ability. Yeah, I feel like that. Well, let me pull up what that shit does again. Oh, sorry. I mean, this is the bottom of the dock, but oh no, I wasn't typing. I was typing in my like my search bar, trying to find some inspiration. I assume that this thing has got to be a legendary item. Like either we make it a common item or we make it, like either we make it just a troll terrible item or we got to make it pretty busted. I'm back with pizza. Did you get enough for all of us? Now, what kind of pizza did you get? I have here the skull of a lich that terrorized the land for years. It still retains a portion of the fiend's foul magic. You can cast a single cantrip through it. Hell yeah. Thick crust, bacon, olives, no cheese? Uh, Angry meatball, bro. What's going on there, man? I don't mean to judge your pizza, but is it even pizza at that point? This sounds like a sandwich. That's enough. There's enough here that I'll eat for a couple days. Don't know it'll last to ship to you, lads. Hey, man, you're good. You keep your pizza, okay? Because that sounds like a Subway sandwich right there. That's what that sounds like. Like you just need to fold it over, and you got yourself a bacon and olive sandwich. Ooh. Cowboy, you're a savage. That's okay. I like good pizzas. Oh my god. Hey, if he likes it and he's happy, that's all that matters. It's all that matters. No, that's a calzone. There you go. Yeah, that's a calzone. That's what it is. Uh, Whew. Mm, what would the size of the bell be? You boys eat your pizza however you like. Mine is cursed just enough so that no one takes a slice. It would have to be pulled around on a cart, suspended on a tripod or swing pot. I can never do that as most of the pizza toppings I like are pretty universally liked. Same. Same. I don't know, man. I just like I don't know that it is a pizza. Like that's what I'm stuck on. Like is it even a pizza at that point? If it's just thick crust, no cheese. Well, I guess you have the sauce. But that's, yeah, I guess it's just a calzone at that point. You fold it up, it's a calzone. But what is food? What are names? But just figments of our imagination. I'm imagining a bell at least 3 feet high and a foot and a half in diameter. Is a Demi-Lich skull that big? It's a big ass bell. It's the size of a skull. Okay, so that's what I thought. Yeah, I guess so. 3 feet though? Yeah, I would have to actually. Yeah, I would have to because it's. I'm thinking of it as the bell and not as the ringer. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Hmm. I mean, that makes it very impractical, though. I would probably say that if someone's attuned to it, they could probably reduce it to the size of a normal bell. That's my thought. Let me know what you think. Because otherwise, it's not. Outside of a creature with an insane strength score, it's not usable. Imagine carting around a big bell just for cantrip. Some players will do it. Never underestimate your players and what lengths they'll go. I'm thinking too small. I'm thinking raising a number of corpses in hearing range, say 150 feet. I mean, it depends how powerful you're trying to make this thing. So are we gonna hard limit the howl then? Because if the howl isn't hard limited, then the raise needs to be hard limited. Because I just imagine like you combo that howl, knock out a party, and then raise half the party is undead if they failed the con saves. Uh, I really like this keyboard. I'm gonna get another one for work. I mean, I agree that it should be cool, but raising all undead within 150 feet, you know, fuck it, why not? We've done crazier things on this channel. Okay, let's see. Uh, Not all undead, just the radius you have to work with. We can do a HD pool, like sleep spell, or have a chart you roll on that raises different types and amounts of undead. Yeah, I mean, you can. I would probably keep it with a range that wide, probably keep it relatively simple and just have it be a flat raise of like basic level creatures. And then I would probably still do the individual action separately. Because I just don't think this is a. Like, I think that it's just an ability that should not be spammable, is the issue. after every raise everything use. Roll a d6. On a 1 or 2, the bell cracks and is unusable. All right. It should also be stuck in large size. That's a little harsh. If I agree because I like the flavor aspect, but I think if it has to be repaired and it's also stuck, it should just be a 1. Because what would that be? 2 in 6 chance. Like that's yeah, 33% odds that you use that ability and then you can't use the bell at all and you can't even take it to get fixed. That's a little fucked. Well, I guess you can take it. You just gotta find a way to drag the fucking thing. Plus, I also don't imagine that the average. Well, yeah, I don't imagine the average person's gonna be able to repair something like that. I mean, how hard would it be to lug around a 3-foot bell? It just depends, I guess, actually. Once you start adding in the. Yeah, I guess you're right. It wouldn't be too difficult, especially in D&D, when you're thinking of D&D terms. No, I mean, because you could get it in a. You could get it in a bag of holding. Yeah, it would be heavy, but there are ways of circumventing it. If you have a lich's head, you probably have a way of getting the lich's head around in its normal size. That's a fair point, Catboy. I am inclined to agree with that logic. For a level 1 adventurer, yeah, it's probably going to be pretty difficult to get that head around. But if you are able to find an item like this, like just imagine like that you walk into a shop and you see this 3-foot tall, 3.5-foot tall bell, and the owner's selling it like just a ludicrous, like a gold piece or something, like just some stupid value. Because they have no idea what it does. I mean, I think that's a pretty solid fleshed out legendary item, to be honest. I don't know if you guys want to add anything. I probably need to add the rolling element. Army of the Dead and Grave Titan. Well, so the Restore on Death ability is ambiguous for that reason because you could select any one corpse. So if you're saying like you should, you choose to get either a swarm's worth of CR 1/4 or 1/2 skeletons. Or 1 or 2 big guns. I mean, I kind of liked your original idea of the 150-foot radius, though. Like, I think contextually, especially with all like, because if you do that, then it doesn't make as much sense to have the negatives be so harsh. I don't know. That's me personally. Like, I really like your original idea of having that 150-foot radius, because obviously, in certain situations, that 150-foot radius isn't going to be very big, and in other situations, it's going to be massive. But, it's the difference from conjuring undead as opposed to, quote unquote, restoring them. So I think if you find a big boy, then you use the initial restore on death, and then that's why it's ambiguous. But I will put them as alternates. Call it army. See what the list of undead creatures are. And I guess thematically it should be Colossal Titans or Grave Titans. Let's see. CR4 is worth about 10 CR1 half. Okay, fair enough. I figured it was around 4 or 5. Oh, a CR1/4 is worth about. A CR4 is worth about 10 CR1/4. I gotcha. So then it would need to be bigger. I mean, 10 is a lot, though. We're going to do 20 CR1/4. And then... No, we'll do 10 CR1/4 and then 1 CR4. Let's change that back to Titan. Let's see. Let's see. That's fine. Okay. Anything else you guys want to add to this? Otherwise, we can move on to the next item and then just flip back to it if we need to. Ready to move on? Sweet. How about Trantwood Dryad Bark? Let's do it. Okay. Treant wood dryad bark. What does one do with wood and bark that's magical from magical trees? Oh. Let's see. Look at the Treant stat block. Pretty sure it's a pretty plain creature. Ooh. What if it had the animate trees ability? That would be wild. Okay, cool. I like that. So Treant wood could be made into magical armor usable by druids. Okay, I dig it. Would the armor have any I feel like Treant wood be a crafting material for magic staves. Yeah. Or depending on the world and level of technology, wooden replacement limbs that move. Like limbs for a chair that move on their own. Oh. Okay, so then we could say a staff of Treant wood. Oh, you mean literal limbs. Okay. I agree. I think that it should be an armor that's an exception to the normal druidic downfalls. Caster magically animates 1 or 2 trees it can see within 60 feet. The trees have the same statistics as a treant, except they have an intelligence and charisma scores of 1. They can't speak, and they have only the slam action option. An animated tree acts as an ally of the caster. The tree remains animate for 1 day or until it dies. Until the treant dies, until the caster dies or is more than 120 feet away from the tree, or until the treant takes a bonus action to turn it back into an inanimate tree. The tree then takes root if possible. Imagine if you could do that at will and you have the trees walk to the lumber yard. Oh my god. That would be like fucking sacrilege at that point. I think like if you were in a town, oh my god, that's actually a really good plot idea. Like imagine a town that has like a bunch of these staves, and so literally they have, instead of lumberjacks, they just have people who go out with these staves and then force the trees to walk to the lumber yard. And they just recharge and do it the next day. That'd be insane. That would be... Ooh, that would be wild as fuck. Imagine when the druids find out. Or when a treant finds out. An actual treant. That would be fucking wild. Okay. If you want more perversion of nature, they could also use zombies for manual labor. What kind of fucked up town is this, Catboy? Got a town that enslaves zombies and fucking makes trees off themselves? That's dark. That is a dark fucking town. I don't want to go there. Like, where are they getting these zombies from? From themselves? You just like raise your aunt, have her go to work. Imagine they don't even have fucking, they don't even have workers. They're just living pretty because they just have the zombies doing everything. Why do they even need to send someone out to go summon the trees? They just have the zombies do it. Can a zombie use a magic item? Yeah, exactly. That's when it's your turn to... Oh my god, that's actually not bad. Like, the logistics are going to be a little tricky, but imagine that, like, you get to live your life in peace, but then when you die, you have to work in servitude, right? But you don't know any better because your soul's already moved on. So you just, like, live in utopia for the entirety of your life, never having to lift a finger or do anything, but then as soon as you're dead, you're a slave. That is a interesting concept. Let's see. Go ahead and Well, people would still need to direct the zombies, and they could only really do basic stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure to a certain extent, but like you could make an economy off of manual labor, which the zombies can handle without a doubt. Like this doesn't have to be the Angry Meatball says you're missing the zombie whose only duty is to sit in a damp cellar and occasionally harvest the mushrooms that grow on it. What the hell? Oh my god. Yeah, but I think that's just an interesting concept, right? Like, yeah, it can be whatever kind of undead. It doesn't have to be a zombie specifically, right? But just at the end of the day, like if if there's, like maybe they have one guy with a job and that guy is the guy who controls the zombies, or maybe they have the bell, the Demi-Lich bell, and so they use the Demi-Lich bell to raise the dead and have the dead fucking do the work. But like no one complains because they're all benefiting, and at the end of the day, they once they die, they contribute. It just kind of like flips the dynamic of life on its head, right? Because you obviously spend your life contributing for the most part and then hope to do well enough that you can enjoy the fruit of your labor, where this would now be um you don't have any labor. You just get to enjoy the fruit of your ancestors, literally, because they're. You want to see your great great granddad? He's working the farm today, and eventually you will be the next in line to help that cause. Yeah, fair enough. I could see that. I could also see them not doing that because they're just kind of jaded, but I like that idea. I get the sense that in a town like this, death might not mean the same thing that it does to most people. This whole conversation reminds me of the Sleepless Watch Bannermen, a regiment of undead soldiers that defend a city for essentially eternity. I need to close that up. The Sleepless Watch, our service eternal, our sacrifice infinite, our regrets absent. Where is that from? I feel like I've heard of that before. Well, it still means you can't interact with that person. You would know that Uncle Joe over there isn't really here anymore. Fair enough. I saw it in a Reddit ideas thread years ago. They set up kind of like this. Interesting. Yeah, I just feel like I've seen that. Um, Not even the Sleepless Watch part specifically, but the quote: "Our service eternal, our sacrifice infinite, our regrets absent." I'll look it up. Let's see. Oh wow. Pulls up a D&D green text article on Reddit. This might be it. Of Undead and Understanding. Be Me. Modified Pathfinder campaign. Took some stuff from 3.5 and other versions to stick in there. DM loves large scale campaigns, lets us do anything we can come up with as long as it's within reason and our power. Party wants to make the world a better place, most of them. Human Paladin, Elven Ranger, Dwarven Defender, Elven Druid, all good people. Then there was Astoshan. What a name. Astoshan was a necromancer, a blend of Pale Master and Dread True Necromancer, to make the class more viable since alone they have issues and it made the abilities match the fluff. A Grey Necromancer, as we called it. Was in a bit of an odd spot when it came to an alignment, somewhere between neutral evil and pure neutral. Nothing like the rest of our free-spirited band of do-gooders. Wasn't particularly malicious, was just very devoted to his craft. All things died in time. There was a balance to uphold in that regard, and it was his task to do so. Naturally, none of the party liked him, but they knew that they could trust him due to how painfully honest he was. The kind of honest that would tell a child straight to their face that they were going to die. Party was also extremely uncomfortable with his presence. It didn't help that he was lich loved and with a grafted arm and as such practically dead. Wasn't flashy or prideful. He wore modest gray robes with some armor over top, if needed. No weapons other than his magic in his hands. Almost no sense of self-preservation. Death was just another part of life to him, and he would face his as necessary. Extended this train of thought to the rest of the party as well. He would do what he could to keep them alive with temporary health and undead to shield them, but once they started dying, it was improper for him to intervene. Paladin and the Druid hated his partially non-functional guts. DM is great, plays off this whenever he gets a chance. God damn, this thing goes on forever. Holy no. Alright, we're not doing all that. Hello again, laugh out loud. Welcome back, personalities. Yeah, never mind. I thought I was gonna be able to read this whole thing, but that was like section 1 of I'm still scrolling. Well, that was fun. Fun little read. I don't think that had anything to do with what I was initially looking up. But that's Google for you. This definitely sounds like the kind of character that one of my players would play. What are you guys working on? What are y'all doing? I think we have the gist for Treant Wood, Dryad Bark. So it's basically a very broadly usable material that can be crafted into items that are particularly good for druids. Very good. A lot of ways you could fit it in. Trying to think of anything you can use dryad bark for. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Well, let me pull up the dryad stat block. Because I feel like for the most part, they would do the same thing when you're using them as a material. But maybe. Oh, I don't need to put in the bark. Potion of some kind. Let's see. Yeah, I think they're just too similar to have like vastly different purposes for the generic stuff. I think you can make like specific items where then it'll be a little different. Like if you made a staff, maybe you get the tree stride ability instead of the animate. Speak with beasts and plants. Yeah, I like that idea. Like the dryad version. Let's see, how does tree stride work? Yeah, I would say that the staff. Guys, I will be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Guess it was nothing. I heard a very strange sound outside of my garage, so I had to go make sure there was nothing, nothing I needed to be concerned about. So, personalities. We are working on magic items that come from some type of monster part or creature part. It was me. Was it you, Wandiki? Welcome to the chat. I hope not. I hope it wasn't you. That'd be a little weird. Why you didn't just come inside the house? Hmm. Yeah, just make it a potion. think that's pretty good for a potion. And then let me outline what that does. It was actually my zombie friend. Same thing, you know. If you guys want to come over, you could just say so. You don't have to. You don't have to do all that. Hey, personalities. Thank you so much for gifting that sub. Greatly appreciate it. You gifted yourself. That's fine. I mean, it works all the same. You probably could have just bought a sub on the account instead of gifting it to yourself, but hey, whatever works for you. I think yeah, that's technically not going to count as a founder patch though, because you keep gifting yourself instead of just subbing. But I mean, either way, I appreciate it all the same. I think you're the only person who's subbed twice that does not have a a founder badge because of that, though. Um, let's see. There we go. That's what I was doing. I want my money back. Ugh. You don't have to talk to Twitch about that. I don't. You know, I'm just here. All right. I don't. I don't process those refunds. You know. I don't even know if you can request a refund. I'm sure you probably can. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the list so you guys can pick something else out. We've got a little over an hour left, and we're kind of, you know, we're kind of rolling now. First, well, not the first 30 minutes. Say, obviously we had some technical difficulties. That's what I'm trying to say. Earlier in the stream, kind of threw things off, but now we're kind of, you know, kind of in a groove now. So let's see what we can do with this last hour or so. Look something up real quick. Okay. I'm gonna do the Rakshasa heart real quick. That one's gonna be very easy because I already know what I want to do with it. That's not what I copied. Rakshasa heart. Yeah, I think that's something that's not, I mean, I think that's pretty well balanced. Let me know what y'all think about that. Because obviously, that would be a very hard item to just happen across. The heart of the intact heart of a fucking Rakshasa. Because that would imply that whoever acquired the heart actually killed the Rakshasa in the hells instead of on the material plane. Or found some way to capture it and extract a heart. The Brutaris notification works too. That's cool. What about fingers like Elden Ring or Jujutsu Kaisen? If you're going to consume an entire raw heart, there should be some drawback. It should at least make you sick. Hey, I never said you couldn't cook it first. As far as the fingers, if you look up what a Rakshasa is, then you would see that it is like a lion or a tiger type creature. So it's not a. Yeah, I guess it is a tiger. I see I'm no longer at full HP. You can't cook it, then the magic will get out. Fair enough. Alright. I see I'm no longer at full HP. Yep, that's correct. You should be at roughly 750 HP. As you deserve. Personality says, Junior, you're giving him a second salary. Laugh my ass off. I appreciate all your donations, Junior's account. You are a great stream boss, as identified by your One Punch Man floating around there. I will say, I would recommend, just candidly speaking, because I'm very, obviously very transparent, or try to be, is I would not recommend that you do like small, like $1 donations, right? Like any donation is meaningful, but just so you're aware, the way that transaction fees work is it's a flat rate plus a percentage, meaning that when you donate $1, it ends up like I actually get like 48 cents for the dollars that you give. When you donate $2 or $3, it's not as severe, but because it's a flat rate at first, then those $1 donations, you're like giving me 48 cents. Oh shit! Well, there you go. That's not what I was trying to do, but I appreciate it all the same. Thank you, Junior's account, for the donation of $3, filling yourself back up to full HP. Any anything to stop the damage. Someone's gonna end up having to donate like $10 to take you out. Oh my god. My turn. What is about to happen? A flat rate, that's lame. That's how any processing fee is. It's not just PayPal. Um, there's always a flat rate plus a percentage fee. What those rates are is variable, but within a small window because it's very competitive. It's the same thing with Square or anyone else. Visa, MasterCard, like you're gonna pay those fees regardless. So that's why it's why these companies are so profitable. It makes sense. I don't blame PayPal, but just as a heads up, if you guys donate $1, just know that I appreciate whatever amount of money I receive. Um, but obviously, most people, when they hear that you're actually donating 48 cents and then giving 52 cents to PayPal, it makes it a little less encouraging to donate $1. I'd rather more of your money goes where you want it. So, um, Angry Meatball, I think the poisoning would be a fair trade off, though. Because you could always just flavor it as them being sick, but I think the poison status would be a good fit. Because you're right. Just eating a raw heart probably is not something most people are going to be able to do and stomach. So, but if someone wants to pick out the next topic, by all means, we can start working on another one. Junior's account says nice. What's nice, Junior? I'm full HP. What do you have written for the Dragon's Heart already? I think someone suggested this. Yeah, actually, I can't remember what his. It was like brain turnout. Abraham Ray. Hello, please call me Abe. Abe, we know to call you Abe. You've been here before. I remember you. How are you doing? It's been a little while, Abe. But yeah, what I was saying is, I think it was like brain turnout or something like that. I can't remember what his name is. The dude who was in the military who came in and he chatted with us for a bit and then dipped, who suggested this item. So we can either keep it that way or change it if you want to work on an Angry Meatball. Did Abe, you still there, bro? Because if you just came in and said, hi, call me Abe, and dipped, it's a little weird. Oh, there you go. You're not gone. It's good to have you back, Abe. For flumps, how about a anti-rodent item, and I'm fine. How about you? Do flumps have any relation to rodents? Are you familiar with the story of Factory of the Dragon? And I am not familiar at all. Feel free to share. In second edition, the flumps ate rodent pests. Okay. So, how would you? I mean, okay. So give me some. Give me some. Throw something out, Abe. What are we thinking? Anti-rodent. I don't know how an adventuring party is going to use an anti-rodent item very often, but I could be convinced. If you have some ideas, feel free to share them. In second edition, they also had a stinking spray that could shoot out at foes. Okay. So, I think the item is a flump brain. We could always change that to a different part. It doesn't need to be a flump brain. You mean you don't have them start out by killing rats? I mean, I'm not saying that's not a viable choice. I don't typically, because I think rats are a little overplayed. But also, if I was going to do that, I wouldn't give them an OP rat killing item in the form of a flump brain. That seems a little. You know, seems like it would take the what little challenge there is from killing rats. If I wanted them to kill like a giant rat or something, I want it to be a little bit more challenging than, hey, pull out your flump brain and GG. But yeah, I mean, as far as the stinking ray, maybe a different part than a brain could work for that. You mean like in RuneScape, why not frogs? What do you mean, why not frogs? Like, you think frogs are a good starting enemy? Flumps have spines on their undersides. You look at a flump. I know what a flump looks like, but pull it up in my. Oh, rats are. Yeah, rats are overplayed. They really are. It's like goblins, you know? Like, goblins are great, but they get used all the time. Spikes? Oh, that makes more sense. That makes substantially more sense. At least they had them in second edition. Wait, did I already F? Oh no, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Gotta actually flip the pages the right way. There's a lot of G monsters. Flump. That's your boy Flumpy right there. Yeah, I mean, they still have a stench spray. And they have tendrils, which have like little spikes on them. But I'm still trying to, like, the spray is one thing, but what are they doing? Like, why the rats? It's just so specific. Different frogs have poison slows. Junior's account. I don't know if you are aware, but there is actually an enemy type that are, well, they don't have to be an enemy type, a race of frog people that do exactly that. They have different colors of skins that indicate having different abilities. They are called grung. Fafnir terrorized the people of Nordlands, Denmark, and Sweden for decades. The hero Siegfried sought a ring that was in the treasure hoard of Fanfir. Siegfried killed Fanfir and bathed in his blood, and his skin became impervious to weapons. Junior's account says, I did not. Well, now you know. In second edition, they ate rodents and other pests. I understand, Abe, but keep in mind this is a magic item, right? So, and Flump are, well, I don't know. So mechanically, how would you describe the item? Like, what does it do specifically to get rid of rodents? If it's just part of a Flump, it's not the entire creature. Remember, so. There was a whole curse that came with the adventure as well. Sounds badass. What what am I trying to say? So how did Siegfried kill him then? Huh, how did Siegfried kill the dragon? The Flump's brain could repel rodents. All right, I guess. I'm not gonna pretend it's the most exciting magic item on the list, but I commit to putting all ideas on the dock. So I'm gonna put this as an option one because I feel like we can do something else as well. Foam spikes could possibly kill were rats. Okay. Well, the brain's not going to have spikes on it, so are we using a tendril or a brain? Because if you're going to use it as rodent repellent, the most sensible way would be like you would use it as a uh, like a plant, basically. So you would put it in like a jar, a container, keep it somewhere, and then it naturally, through its own properties, would um, keep or repel rodents from coming near. Oh shit! I'm just I'm just realizing that I actually need to take these tables apart if I'm gonna have a new table come in tomorrow. Fuck. We'll need to do that right after the stream so I have time. Spray could repel dangerous, possibly enchanted, conjured animals. As far as the enchanted or conjured, is there any lore surrounding flumps saying that they could have that effect on conjured creatures? Because, like, a stinking spray affecting an animal makes plenty of sense. Um, but if they're conjured, they're not going to be affected by smell the same way a traditional animal would, at least in my mind. Not that they would necessarily be immune to all effects, but I don't think they would. A conjured animal that's following the will of a conjurer is not going to be stopped by just any scent. You know, like it would have to have some magical reason for doing that. You're wrong. Why am I wrong? Disagree? You can definitely disagree. The spray smells bad. The spray probably be used in a sort of potion. Yeah, I could definitely see it being used as a potion or like a stink bomb or something if it was extracted. But Okay, cool. A lot of typos, but I got the idea. I'm getting close to finishing my Pokemon card collection. Congratulations. Congratulations. The brain could be used to allow you to thrive passively on psionic energy alone for a limited duration. And 5th edition flumps are passive psychic vampires after all. But how would you initiate that effect? Like by eating the brain or like I don't know. Also, Junior's account, are you not going to elaborate on your disagreement? I enjoy hearing your guys' opinions, but, you know, when all you say is you're wrong and disagree, there's not a lot for me to go off. Don't need to. You're absolutely right. Potion or cream oil. Okay. I'm on my tablet. Fair enough. There we go. That's a good item idea. Not Flump Brian's Flump Brain. Uh, what's the range? Like a mile, right? No. 60 feet? Never mind. I like that. That is a item. Practical, significant effect without being directly about combat, so it's unique. I dig it. Mind Flayer brains could possibly allow you to shoot out a weak mind blast. It comes in the form of a greasy oil that you apply to your head. But then that's not a brain anymore. That's an oil. Like, the brain would have to be actually a brain. Otherwise, we could just do something else. Like, Mind Flayers, pretty sure already secrete some type of fluid. Let me see. Give me a couple of days, I'll figure out a way to juice a brain. You take your time on that one, Angry Meatball. You don't have to rush for an answer on that. The oil is made of Mind Flayer brain. I get that, but how and why? You know what I mean? Like, a Mind Flayer brain is already like very valuable in its natural state, just for the sheer fact that you're keeping it away from an elder brain. But Mind Flayers are obviously very intelligent, very unique creatures in the first place. But just like the thought that someone would capture a Mind Flayer's brain, know the process of turning the brain into an oil, turning it into the oil, and then rubbing it on their head seems very unlikely. But as always, I will put it on the list. Let's see. Here, Angry Meatball says, here's a real quick question. Is the Mind Flayer brain any good with scrambled eggs? I don't know. What the fuck? Probably not, would be my guess. So for next week, how do you feel about diseases, curses? I'm down for that. That's a good mix up from what we've done so far. So I'm down for that. Diseases and curses. You know what I can do? I can just literally make the page right now. What day is that gonna be? 14th. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good idea switching to OneNote. This is a very good call. Abe says probably not. I assume he means the... Oh no. Really? Angry Meatball? Have you actually eaten that? Sheep or pig brain? Bro. No. I have never eaten brain to my knowledge. My nan used to make it. Damn. Different parts of the world, bro. You know? Because here, I don't know that you're gonna find many people who have eaten brain here in the states, unless they're also from another part of the world. Um, hmm. Has anyone else in the chat eaten brain before? I am curious to know. Also, let's see. I think we've got just under 30 minutes left. I haven't really talked about much of anything since we were having those technical difficulties. So, just as a reminder for anyone watching, next Saturday, the 19th, we will be having a giveaway stream, the first giveaway stream of the channel. So we'll do our normal deep dive for curses and diseases, but we'll try to mix it up a little bit, do some interesting stuff. Maybe hop on the Discord and let people join in and talk for a bit. We'll see, but we will have a giveaway at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock Central Time on Saturday the 19th. All you have to do to qualify for said giveaway is be a follower of the stream and leave at least one comment in the stream at any duration, at any point during the chat. Obviously, if you show up at 10 and leave a comment, you're not going to qualify for the giveaway that's already happened. So all you got to do is show up next Saturday, leave a comment, and if you're a follower, you will qualify. There will be three drawings, 3 winners, with some various prizes. If you want to see what those prizes are, I'm not going to spend 10 minutes explaining the different prizes here, but there is a document on the Discord. So if you're not already a member of the Discord, go ahead and join that, and you can take a look at the document yourself. And I'll go over it in more detail on next Saturday. Also, if everything goes according to plan with the table tomorrow and some of the things we have to set up, we will have a additional stream on Friday. It will not be a normal stream, so if it will not be a world building stream specifically. I will be streaming a one-shot with my players on the new table to try to test some things out and kind of, learn from the experience before we start playing our campaign here in the next few months. So if you are inclined to tune in, I would appreciate it. If not, feel free to skip the stream if it's not your cup of tea or not your type of content. But if you know anyone who would enjoy watching it, definitely send them our way. Yeah, that's about it. We are at 58 followers on a goal of 100 in order to qualify for another giveaway in April. So if you're in here and you're not already following, which I'm pretty sure all of you are, definitely hit that follow button so we can continue doing these giveaways on a monthly basis. But otherwise, that's it. Thanks for listening to my little 2-minute spiel, 3-minute spiel. Let me go ahead and catch up on these comments real quick. Abe says, check out the 2nd edition Ravenloft Monster Compendium, 3rd one for some magical diseases. Catboy says, I have not. Abe says, brain eating, yuck. Angry Meatball says, brain something like 80% fat, which makes the whole thing salty and greasy. Not gonna lie, that actually sounds gross. I cannot help but agree with you, Catboy. Um, definitely, no judgment. Just it does not like when I think those words, it does not sit in my stomach well. Um, Junior's account says, "Do I qualify?" Dang. Junior's account, you are a follower, so all you have to do is show up at any point in the stream and leave a comment. If you want the most chances to win, the only thing I would say about that, once again, to reiterate, is if you want the most chances to win something, then you want to leave a comment in the first hour of the stream, because the first drawing is at 9 o'clock. There'll be kind of like progressive tiers. Like I said, I'm not going to get super into it, but just know that if you want the best chance of winning some type of prize, the earlier you show up, the better. You don't have to stay the whole time. All you have to do is leave a comment. But definitely appreciate it if you stay. Oh, posture check. Just now seeing that. Okay. All right. So we can make fun of your DMing, Coolio. Yeah, if you want to make fun of it, go for it. You know. I mean, we'll see. You guys will actually get to see my DM style. The only thing I'll say to keep in mind, right, is because of it's kind of like a test ish thing, right? Like we're gonna have multiple cameras, and you know, there may be technical difficulties, obviously, and then beyond that, once the game actually starts, unlike typical streams, I'm not gonna really be engaged with the chat so much because I'll be running the game. So, um, definitely different than what we normally do here, but uh, to be obvious, troll limbs, rings of regeneration. Angry Meatball says, "You say no judgment, but this is the second food topic I've been criticized about today." Um, that's fair. That's fair. I wouldn't say that I'm criticizing you for the food so much. It's just like, if I'm being totally honest, when you said something about eating brains, I immediately thought you were fucking with us. So if if your nan actually made that for you and you enjoyed it, I'm not going to judge you for that. I just know that I probably could not, like you would have to not tell me for me to try that. If someone put a plate in front of me and said that it was brains, I'm probably not putting it in my mouth. And then as far as the pizza thing, it's not that I'm judging the toppings that you're putting on the pizza. I just don't think it's a pizza anymore at that point. So, we love you, Angry Meatball. I don't want you to think we don't love you. I feel like it's you Americans who are weird. Nope. It's not us. Not. Nope. I don't think it's the Americans on this one. We're weird, don't get me wrong. But cuz what was it? Thick crust, bacon, olives, no cheese. Uh Abe says, or rings of rapid regeneration. Okay. Catboy says, I was totally judging the toppings. Olives are gross. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of olives. I don't think they're terrible, but I would not go out of my way to eat them. To be fair, I haven't had it since I was 8, maybe 10, but if you dropped a plate of eggs and brains down in front of me today, I'd dig in. Ugh. like once again, no judgment about you. It's just like when I read those words, like it makes my like it just it's like instinctive. I don't even you know I'm not even trying to be judgmental. I just like I read the words, I dig in. I'm just ooh, no. Ancient Greece have a myth that ended with Medusa's face being put on Athena's shield. Could that work in game? Like the myth about Medusa and Athena in your game? Yeah, sure. Why not? In most games, I'm sure it could. It wouldn't really work for mine because, yeah, Athena and Medusa. Well, I mean, Medusas are just a creature, so you just have to transpose it onto a different goddess. But like Athena wouldn't exist in her typical form in my world, if at all. Oh, so just specifically, you're not really concerned about the lore. Yeah, I don't see why not. It'd be very dangerous. I'm wondering what about the face it is that turns you to stone if we compare down from being a whole head to just the necessary bits. Well, the Medusas already have an ability to turn something to stone. I don't know if that's called flesh to stone or not. I don't think it is. Medusa, page 214. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is the eyes. Let's see. Petrifying gaze. When a creature that can see the Medusa's eyes starts its turn within 30 feet of the Medusa can force it to make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw if the Medusa isn't incapacitated and can see the creature. If the saving throw fails by 5 or more, the creature is instantly petrified. Otherwise, a creature that fails the save begins to turn the stone and is restrained. The restrained creature must repeat the saving throw at the end of its next turn, becoming petrified on failure or ending the effect on the success. Petrification lasts until the creature is freed by greater restoration, spell, or other magic. Uh, I don't think that's accurate, Abe. I don't think that's true at all. Maybe that's not how the story has been told countless times, but yeah, maybe the very, very original. I don't know. Either way, we'll say the eyes because that can be incorporated into the shield, and that's so a shield with the petrifying gaze ability is effectively what we're going for. and then that works because it's just Medusa eyes. The shield bearer. Medusa hair could be made into a weak version of the robe of eyes, maybe with poison resistance included. Okay. Okay. I mean, the hair deals poison damage. Medusa hair could be made into a weak version of robe of eyes, maybe with poison resistance included. You would need a lot of Medusa hair. There's not that many snakes on a Medusa to make it into a robe. A cursed version of said robe could have to be fed rodents every day or it poisons the wearer. Abe, do you like rats? You have any pet rats, Abe? Do you not like rats? I mean, I'm not like. I guess I don't. I mean, I don't really have any specific feelings on rats as long as they're not in my house. You know? I think they grow back their snakes after they are cut off, and no, I'm a cat person myself. Yeah, I mean, they grow back, but so, like, are you harvesting these snakes from. I don't know. I'm trying to envision how this process works because I'm pretty sure the snakes also die when they're cut off. So even if the snake grows back on the head of the Medusa, it doesn't really do you any good. And then um, also like how are you just cutting off Medusa hair? You know, if it's dead, then pretty sure Medusas turn to stone when they die. Um, as a cowboy, I obviously like rats a lot. It's fair. That's fair. In kind of a different way. If I'm gonna risk having disadvantage on attacks and checks every day, the benefits of the robe better be worth it. Agreed. Especially when the the condition is so specific as to have to feed it rats. Yes, you harvest the snakes, and the snakes don't necessarily have to be alive at the time of being made into the robe, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily saying they have to be alive. I'm just saying because of how typically, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not envisioning it, to be honest. But it is almost that time. Let me see who I can raid. See if there's anyone online. Really? These people are alive right now? Let me see. Wow. Alright. Yeah. A raid is when we enter someone else's chat. We are going to end the stream a couple minutes early because it is a streamer's 3-year anniversary, and they have 6 minutes, the same amount of time that I do, before they end their 12-hour stream. So we're going to go show them some love and do a last-minute raid, so that way we can surprise them. So I don't know if anyone has any complaints about that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So may as well help them end it with a bang. So as always, guys, make sure to tune in on Monday. We will be working on diseases and curses. So check it out. Don't forget about the giveaway on Saturday. But this channel, okay, yeah, that's fine. But with that being said, thank you guys as always. Giveaway Saturday. See you again soon. Peace.